courageous competitors on the ride of a lifetime. Ready? Take aim, go! All they need to do is hit the bullseye. Come on, baby! 11 feet, 10 inches. You just gotta beat that. In the end, one will go home with $50,000.
Because for some reason, Fox executives decided what we wanted was a Fear Factor knockoff with targets? Let's go back to 2015. Uptown Funk was everywhere like the flu, Seth Rollins was on a tear throughout the WWE, and shows were okay. I'm saying that because while there were some good game shows out there, other shows were just ugh. One example of the shows was the Fox show Bullseye. Not to be confused with the darts-related show from the 1980s, Bullseye was a short-lived show that aired on Fox from May to July of 2015. The same guys that produced Wipeout and Fear Factor also produced this. So the show isn't necessarily a Fear Factor ripoff, and more of an offshoot quasi-version of the show, in the same vein that War Gods is a quasi-offshoot version of Mortal Kombat. However, the main difference between Bullseye and Fear Factor was that Fear Factor contained contestants eating gross shit, and Bullseye did not. The show is hosted by Kellen Lutz, best known for starring in Twilight, and Godfrey, a Nigerian-American stand-up comedian. Anyway, on to the rules of the show. Every episode of the show takes place over 3 days. In every episode, 8 new contestants are brought on, 4 men and 4 women. The first challenge sees all 8 participants compete in a stunt in a who can get closer to the middle style round. The goal is to get as close to the bullseye of the target as possible within 2 attempts, with the closer of the 2 attempts being taken. The top 2 in each gender bracket move on to the next round, while the other 4 are eliminated. Damn, are we seriously giving red or black energy already? Anyway, in round 2, the stunt gets a bit more insane. The goal is to collect as many targets as possible. It can involve dunking into water or grabbing targets while on a moving truck. The challenges vary, but they're often incredibly crazy. The top 3 players move on to the final round, with the player who got the least number of targets eliminated. In the final round, the contestants do something that makes a Michael Bay movie look like going to the opera with an extreme stunt. The goal is to hit all the targets while getting to the final target in the fastest amount of time. Fail to hit a target, and you have to go back and redo the entire course. The fastest person wins. What do they win, you may ask? $50,000, which coincidentally is the same prize amount seen in Fear Factor. Jesus Christ. They wanted to make this a kid-friendly version of Fear Factor so damn badly, didn't they? Cue a montage of the winners' moments on the show to emotional music while the credits roll for some fucking reason. And there you have it. An episode of Bullseye. Now, on to why the show failed. 1, it tried way too hard to be Fear Factor. Literally, everything down to the grand prize was based around Fear Factor. Sure, the show was marketed more towards families than Fear Factor was, but at the end of the day, you could have replaced Kellen Lutz with Joe Rogan and Godfrey with Ludacris, and it would be the same show. And you want to know why? Because they were the hosts of Fear Factor. 2, this show is basically the type of stuff Fox has been pushing for a while now. 90% of all the game shows on the Fox network are 1-season-long shows that don't gain a lot of traction. Obviously, their big cash cow nowadays is The Masked Singer, so we see this less and less. But back in 2015, this was a huge problem. 3, while this is a personal reason why I dislike the show, I'm not a big fan of shows that try to make themselves better by adding crazy explosions at random spots. Sure, fireworks going off at the end of Wipeout or anything else similar in that matter, that's okay. But having them at the end of every time someone completes the final challenge is just obnoxious. It's like, boo! Fucking boo! let's shove pyro up your ass! Boom! That shit's fucking annoying. Overall, Bullseye failed because it tried to be something it's not. Fear factor. Between this show, Boom, The Quiz with Balls, and The Masked Singer, I can safely call Fox the network where the worst game shows air. While The Floor is a good game show, and the shining exception in game shows on the network being utter horseshit, it still doesn't save Fox from the fact they produce this clusterfuck. Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. I'm Duality Dustman, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Again? Damn. Well, okay, story time. So whenever I was in middle school, my obnoxious ass 7th grade teacher would always blast that stupid fucking Friday song every Friday. It got so bad to the point where students would go to the principal to tell her to turn it off. But did she listen? Of course fucking not. That's why I did this. I came up with a plan eventually. I would wear Bluetooth earbuds to school, and over that, earmuffs that people often wear hunting because, well, I live in Oklahoma. People still like to go hunting here. And I knew a guy who let me borrow his, and through my earbuds, I'd be blasting something that's like more my speed, like Slipknot. So yeah, if anyone's just playing some obnoxious music, now you know what to do.